much for joining me in the throne room today. So we're going to talk a little bit about Daenerys' baby with Jon Snow, who is actually known now as Aegon. Is he going to be the next conqueror? Well, this is all about Daenerys' baby with Jon Snow. So welcome back to the throne room, and let's go ahead and get started, you guys. So I appreciate you all for actually listening as well and watching. And if you can give me some feedback, that'd be great. But there was actually a couple comments that you might read on the channel a couple weeks ago where someone said I spelled something wrong. Well, I do apologize. I am human. Now, I welcome you guys all back, my lords and ladies, and let's go ahead and get into what is going on in the realm right now. So, last season, it's been said that there was a heated and hot scene with Daenerys and Jon in the boat. Now, all of us wonder, is Daenerys actually with child again? The last baby that was born was named and never took heir as a child of Daenerys and Drogo, and was born deformed. Then she did a pyre sacrifice that allowed him to live a little longer, and unfortunately Drogo died.
Saved me. 3 of those riders had already raped me before.
Now,
you
we all
saved
know
me,
that there was a witch there, and she had some words for Daenerys.
I saw my god's house burn. There where I had healed men and women, beyond counting. In the streets I saw piles of heads. The head of a baker who makes my bread. The head of a young boy that I'd cured of fever just 3 moons past. So, tell me again exactly what it was that you saved.
Your life.
Why don't you take a look at your hal? Then you will see exactly what...
Prophecy, almost like Maggie the Frogs for Cersei. But in this case, one of her children, one of her dragon children has died. You know, there was Viserys, her brother, and she named that dragon Viserion. And then she has Rhaegal, which she named after her other brother, Rhaegar. And then Drogon, and I think she named him after Drogo, but I could be wrong. Of course, Viserion died as an ice dragon, just as Viserys, her brother, died. And maybe the name is not a good one to name someone. I'm not sure. Now, in this case, Viserion, her dragon child, was first to be the Night's King's puppet, which is one of her kids. And a lot of people think that the Night King actually is going to speak in Valyrian, actually. It's just a leak that came out. That actually killed him, made him his puppet. Unlike Daenerys and its other sibling dragons, he is a zombie of the army of the dead and a major threat. Succession is actually important to any of the house's survival. I still have my doubts about the House Tyrell being extinct completely, but that's actually another video I'm working on, so make sure that you go ahead and tune into that. The child of Daenerys and Jon would cause major hatred for them if his secret of his lineage is told, but there could be a possibility that it could, stay quiet about his true lineage. Maybe just Sam and Bran will ultimately know about it, and maybe Sansa and then Arya, people like that. And, being the people that they are, they might not ever tell anyone. Will this cause people to mistrust him if actually the truth were to be revealed? Now, Targaryens are almost extinct, and it's pretty normal for their family to interbreed. Who could really be upset with anybody for doing something like that? But in this case, we saw with Eddard and Jon Arryn, they knew that Joffrey, Tommen, Marcella were not royalty, and it started, a big war, obviously. Stannis Baratheon was the major threat in that situation, but, just like Maggie the Frog told her, gold will be their shrouds, and that was to cover up Cersei and Jaime's incest, but it's not their offspring's fault. Some people believe that Daenerys will never give birth, that the child will die with her. Some say that Tyrion will raise a child with another survivor from the Long Night. Now, the North will not accept Daenerys, is what I'm thinking here, and the child of Jon and Daenerys might cause them to actually bend the knee, I guess, and just say, hey, let's go ahead and move on from this past event of not trusting Targaryens, because we see that Jon Snow is a good man, and if he's Stark and also Targaryen, and we see his actions and works, maybe they'll love the child as well and love Jon and Daenerys at the end of the day. Or maybe they might not get to that point. Now, Daenerys will be pregnant on the onset of the Great War and the dawn of summer. Now, Azor Ahai, when Daenerys is pregnant, Azor Ahai will return. Now, this is actually something that the witch told her. Azor Ahai, prince that was promised, or princess, are said to be the same, or are not said to be the same in any book as people assume to be. Azor Ahai will end the long night and could well be Jon. Who is the prince or princess that was promised? Well, we have to look at the prophecy in the Song of Ice and Fire. Is Jon really the Song of Ice and Fire? Is that's what people are thinking? Well, maybe it could be because of the prince and princess that were promised are brought together, and the child of any of two members um, of the Stark and Targaryen family could have been the prince or princess that was promised, because Rhaegar and Lyanna weren't any significant um, like a significant thing in the prophecy point of view. Rhaegar was just a noble prince, and Lyanna was actually just a lovely young Stark woman. What makes Jon and Daenerys special is that both have had some significant events in their lives that signal that they have some prophetic importance. Daenerys remained unburnt, brought back dragons into the world, and Jon was resurrected by the gods. So the Song of Ice and Fire and the prince that was promised has to be offspring of Jon and Daenerys. Maybe we're rushing to judgment, right? The prince or princess that was promised will also be from the Ares line. Both Jon and Dany are both from Ares line. Well, then that would be their son would satisfy that prophecy too. Maybe that's a part of the bittersweet ending too. After Jon is killed or becomes the new Night King, and Daenerys and her dragons perish, they live in the new era of the Song of Ice and Fire. No, they live in a new era of the world. So that's it for right now. I really appreciate you guys for listening in. I'm not sure if history will repeat itself as it was in the past. Will Daenerys die in childbirth, or will she become the Night's Queen? My theory is that she will die in childbirth. The alliances that Jon Snow makes, the other person ends up dead, like Jorah Mormont, Mance Rayder, Stannis Baratheon. Also, the other clue was that when Tyrion actually was having a conversation with her about succession, and also Jon Snow, um, if if she dies and the baby dies, that means that the Targaryen house will only live on through Jon. But he doesn't have the name. So, I think it's going to be a child of ice and fire. That's actually going to be the reason. So I think the baby will live. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning into the Throne Room. Don't forget to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I am working hard to get my numbers up on this Throne Room channel. I really appreciate all the positive feedback and comments on the videos. I really appreciate you guys in the High Council of subscribers. So if you want to become a part of our High Council, and you just have to go ahead and press that subscribe button. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Valor Morghulis. All men may die in season 8, and I will be actually on the next video we'll be talking about the major reveal of Game of Thrones season 8 leak. What could be Daenerys Targaryen's downfall in season 8? Go ahead and watch that video, and I will see you guys next time, and thank you all for watching.